Greetings, Lucky Legends. Welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I'm your host for this video. It's time for Lucky Analytics team building. I'm going to be going over the Sable Talon Lord squad that I used in that Pokemon Showdown Live yesterday. And now, this, of course, is based off of the Sable Talon team that Blunder used in SPL. Well, really, it's just built around the synergy of Mega Sableye and Talonflame. So, Mega Sableye, physically defensive, and Talonflame, specially defensive. Now, some people like to run Swords Dance Talonflame. I like to run Bulk Up because it helps me take physical attacks better. I'm not super worried about getting outsped with Talonflame because it has priority Brave Bird. However, with the Spadef that it has, it lives attacks from stuff like Rotom, as long as it's, defensive Rotom, not, offensive Rotom. But it just has really good synergy with Kryptonite because Burb checks I would say it's probably the biggest Mega Sableye counter, which is Clefable. As long as Clefable doesn't have Thunder Wave, then Burb takes it on really well. Like, there's just not much Clefable can do about it. We can roost off damage, we can bulk up, and then kill it with Brave Bird. And with Kryptonite, we have Calm Mind, Recover Will-O-Wisp, and Shadow Ball. Will-O-Wisp is to burn physically offensive threats. And Calm Mind is... Actually, I don't use it offensively as much as I use it defensively. I mostly use it to bulk up our special defense so that we take special hits a little bit better. Shadow Ball is our coverage move because it's just a little bit better than Dark Pulse because, normal and dark are the only things that stop Shadow Ball. Whereas with Dark, you have Dark fighting. Is that really it? But, I would be running Dark Pulse, and I'd rather have the chance to lower Spadef than the chance to flinch because we're so incredibly slow. We would never actually get the flinch. And, Burb, of course, rocking Roost, Bulk Up, Will-O-Wisp, and Brave Bird. Originally, I had Taunt instead of Brave Bird. Why? Well, first, the reason I changed it is because I sent this team to Joey Pokegame to look at because I felt like I was missing something. I wasn't 100% sure what it was. And he knows the OU metagame better than me by such a colossal margin. He knows it better than most people. So I sent it to him to ask him, and he said that I should replace Taunt with Will-O-Wisp. One of the things that I had noticed, or that he noticed with this team, is that I would have trouble with Bisharp. Because Bisharp would be able to beat Burb 1v1 because they would outspeed us and hit us with Sucker Punch, which would do a lot of damage. Or it can just go for knockoff and, two-shot us. So I decided to go with Will-O-Wisp. I have noticed that it works out a lot better with Will-O-Wisp than it did with Taunt. Taunt was nice for stuff like Heatran that would like to come in against Burb. Heatran is such a great check to Talonflame. But I'd rather have the Will-O-Wisp to deal with things like Bisharp. Things like... Well, I'm trying to think of what else. Things like Garchomp that really, really, really cause a problem for Talonflame. Things like Ferrothorn, so that I can wear them down a lot faster. Because, Garchomp especially, the Will-O-Wisp is really good against him because it wears the Garchomp down so that, once I have to go for Brave Bird against it, he's at a low enough health because between Rocky Helmet damage and Rough Skin damage, along with Brave Bird recoil, we'd lose half our health from one Brave Bird. It may even be more than that. But I definitely wanted Burb to have the bulk up for taking those physical hits. And surprisingly enough, something that has really good synergy with both of those is actually Bacchus. Bacchus, of course, are our Tangrowth from the PBL. I went with my favorite set for Bacchus at level 100. At level 50, I think it's a little bit different. But it is 252 max special defense, 164 defense, and 88 in HP. And then 4 I put in attack or special attack, depending on what moves I have. I went with attack this time because I do have knockoff and rock slide. So I wanted to buff up that attack, if only a little bit. And we are, of course, running the sassy nature. I'm not running calm or careful because I do have mixed coverage. Basically, the way that the assault vest works it out is that he has he has 327 defense and special defense while we have the assault vest on. And 363 is a regenerator number. It is a multiple of 3. If your Pokemon has regenerate, you want its health to be a multiple of 3 to maximize the amount of health you recover when you switch out. I have HP Fire for things like Scizor, things that think that they can switch into Bacchus, because Bacchus typically runs HP Ice in OU. But I am running, like I said, I'm running HP Fire. It hits Scizor, it hits Ferrothorn. It's a 2-hit KO on Ferrothorn, and it's either a 2 or a 1-hit KO on Scizor. I think it's a 1-hit KO on offensive Scizor, and it's probably like a 2-hit KO on defensive Scizor. But, again, one of the best Pokemon for just all-around bulk that doesn't really lose a lot from having an Assault Vest. Like, obviously, Leech Seed and Synthesis are awesome, but when you have Regenerator, they become slightly less necessary. Now, at this point, team is looking really good. I lose to Latios. Is the first thing that comes to mind. Because Latios has Draco Meteor, Psyshock, and probably Draco Meteor for Tangrowth. It just does way too much damage. Rather than trying to make a switch into Latios, because it's a balanced team, but it very much favors offense. So I have Swords Dance, X-Scissor, Poison Jab, and Aqua Tail on a Focus Sash Scolipede. I went with the Focus Sash because we don't live any hits, so running Black Sludge wouldn't really do anything for us. And they're really just... I didn't want to run Life Orb because, again, we don't live any hits, and I wanted to be able to set up first. Same thing with, like, Expert Belt. I needed the Focus Sash so that I could get off a Swords Dance and an attack. X-Scissor one-shots Latios. It probably one-shots Latias as well. Poison Jab is for things like Clefable. Aqua Tail is for things like Landorus. It is for things like Heatran. It is for basically anything that X-Scissor and Poison Jab don't hit. I could run Earthquake, but then we would get walled by Landorus, because none of our attacks would do any damage. And I don't want that to be a thing. So I have Autumnal here. I wanted some more speed control. Something that could deal with, like, Mega Metagross. Mega Metagross isn't, like, a colossal issue for our team, but, you know, it's a huge threat no matter what team it's on. And I also wanted something that could deal with Mega Altaria. So I grabbed Shallow Grave with the Choice Scarf. I went with the Jolly Nature just in case. Earthquake, Iron Head, Rapid Spin, and Rock Slide. Rapid Spin is, like, if I'm about to die, I will go for Rapid Spin. Like, if I'm up against, like, Landorus, I know I'm not going to kill that thing with any of my attacks. So I would just go for the Rapid Spin to get rid of the rock so that I can bring in something else that deals with it a lot easier. Probably Autumnal, or, depending on what kind of Landorus it is, I could bring in Burb. But that was just Shallow Grave right there. I wanted to have him on the team. That is an NBA Mon. And then to round out our team, I needed a ground immunity because, Burb is a ground immunity, but it's not a very good one because you have to roost off damage, which makes you weak to ground, and roost is priority, so then you have a ground attack incoming. I went with Cybertron. Our mixed defensive Rotom. I went with mixed defensive because I knew I wasn't going to be running Will-O-Wisp on this thing. I wanted Thunder Wave so that I could slow down some of the really dangerous threats that I could run into. Stuff like Charizard X, which is just annoying and a problem. I went with this mixed defensive. We could run Spadef Will-O-Wisp, or we could run Fizdef with Toxic or Thunder Wave, or we could run Fizdef with Will-O-Wisp. I didn't need a straight-up physically defensive Mon, because basically I have two setup Mons right here that also act as physically defensive and specially defensive walls. I have two just bulks. They're all around bulky, they have a lot of HP, they have a lot of defense, they have a lot of special defense. And then I have two just things that come in and hit hard. One is a setup sweeper, the other one is a Scarf Mon, which, is always a good thing to have on the team. It's an interesting team. It works pretty well, as you guys saw yesterday. It's not phenomenal. I'm sure that there are other things that could be done to improve the team, but this is how I wanted it. I really like how it turned out. But that's going to be it. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best luck out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.